Good afternoon, folks, and yeah, I wasn't going to do another video. I wasn't going to do one today, but I did say I would do a video. Get me drink. Better put that there actually. No, I'll leave it there. Be safe. Right, well, we're live as usual, and we'll set that on top of the record player in a minute. Right, I got a special surprise through the mail this morning. Hello, Pat. Yeah, I got a special surprise from my friend Mark this morning, and it's a record. It's a record that he's made with his friends, you know, with his band. I've already unboxed it. I've not had a look at the record, I've just unboxed it. Just hopefully it's here in one piece. I've not had it out of its sleeve yet. And this is what we've got. If I go to camera 4 for a second. Hang on, I'll take these glasses off because I can't. Give these glasses a clean, they're a bit muggy. We'll go camera 4, we'll have a look, because we're gonna have a listen. We're gonna have a listen to this, both sides of it. Let's take it out of its plastic bag, put that up there, and go back into it when it's finished playing. Oh, for God's sake! Yes? Right, ring me back in a bit, I'm just about to do something.
Oh, that's not surprise me.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Right, I'll catch you in a bit.
Alright, I'll phone you later.
Okay.
Bye, Andy. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, my sister. Right, so let's get this sorted out because we want this up, don't we, so we can see. Right. Right, so this is by a band called the Ladykillers, and the record itself is called Peep. Let's give you a look at the sleeve. There we go, and we have a lovely dance set on a dance set Auto Conquest on the front, and I believe that's a dance set that I repaired. I didn't do the whole dance set, I just did the amplifier in it for him, and he did the turntable mechanism himself. So there we go. Just make sure we're focused in. You want to get, because I can't tell with my glasses on, because it might not even be focused. Yeah, we're good enough. And there we go, you see. Yeah, it arrived in one piece. It's all in lovely condition. Well, the cover is. We've got to get the record out yet. And I have been granted permission. Let's turn the record. Granted permission to use this record. The material on it is copyrighted, but I have been granted permission. I'll tell you what's on here before we get going. We've got Peep, Stumble, Hanging Around, Gunfire and Moonshine. Oh, that sounds good. I Came Here, Uncle Bob Trouble. That's A side. That's the A side. And on the B side we've got Electric Car, Wanted More Than Needed, One Step Closer to Clifford, Things to Do, How Long. It's I do actually have, yeah, all tracks. This is already on YouTube, so somebody's already, you know, Mark will have already put this up, and there's also videos for the music as well. Obviously not on this record. Obviously you don't get videos on the record. Put that there, and this is the inner sleeve. And everybody involved with it has signed it. There's one there. Thanks for the dance set, Chris. He's the drummer. Yeah, I can't read all these. Hannah is a singer. Yeah, so yeah, we're and Andy, enjoy the album. Keep your YouTube videos. Yeah. Mark's wife. Long suffering. Yeah, thank you very much, Bernie, and thank you to everybody that's on this record for allowing me to give it a demonstration. And we're going to use the hacker for this. As you know, I thought we better dig out a nice record player to play it on. So we've got the hacker. It's got a relatively new stylus in the hacker. Oh, don't you just love the sight and the smell? There's nothing like it. The sight and the smell of a brand new unplayed record, and done it to gather the dust quick. Let's get it on here. And very gently, there we go. Right, without further ado, let's just look at the chat first, and then the next time we look at the chat will be before I turn it over, because I am gonna play it. Happy New Year. I can't pronounce your name, but Happy New Year to everybody, and Happy New Year to you too, Pat. So what we'll do, we'll just check the stylus is clean. There, oops, there we go. And this is side A.
This is turning out to be for me. temps pour moi. It means you mean so much to me. Tu comptes tant pour moi.
If I mumble, it's all down to you. It's the very last thing I wanted to do to you.
Describe my love for you.
Tu comptes tant pour moi.
Please don't be long when I'm waiting for you. It makes me wonder what it is you do to keep me waiting around like this. I don't think anyone else performs the way you do. Now, I've been sitting here for quite a while. There's nothing else I can do but smile. But I'm getting very, very close to the edge. I can't believe how I ended up here at all. Thinking back, it never used to be like this. You were on time from the very first kiss. Now you just keep me hanging around for you, my dear. Hanging around for you. I'm just waiting for you again, my dear. Now it's been an hour since you just said I'll only be a minute. So keep your head. And that was the very last thing you said. And now I have very concerned regrets that I ever came to see you here at all. Thinking back, it never used to be like this. You were on time from the very first kiss. Now you just keep me hanging around for you, my dear. Hanging around for you. I'm just waiting, dear.
Well, what did I think of that? Actually, I thought it was very good. We'll get it ready to play the B side or side 2. I'm sure the tracks on side 2 are just as good as what side 1 was. I really did enjoy that. Thought it was very, very good. And before we play the other side, we'll have a quick look at the chat and we'll discuss what I thought in more detail. We'll get the record on. Oh, we've got a mark on there. Where's that come from? Just wipe that off. Where does that come from? Well, whatever it was, it's gone. It might have been a bit of grease off the turntable. Let me just take this call. Told her I was busy. Oh, now it's gone off. Let me just take this call, and then we'll have a look at the chat and see what you're saying.
890.
Do you know you can't get through to her? It's my sister. Out. It's too early. Go on, out. Oh, for God's sake! You can't get through to her when you miss the call. Never mind. She'll have to wait on me now. Yeah, right. So let's just have a quick look at the chat before we play the other side, and then we'll get the other side going. Because I did try to look at it there, but I can't see without my glasses. We'll get the camera back in position. Let's get the camera back in position. Ready for... That'll do. Right, what have we got? What's nose? There's also saying hi, Grateful Downs. Dowings. I hope I don't pronounce it wrong. Well, good afternoon and you're welcome. And yes, we're just to recap before we do, we're just giving this a quick play this afternoon. This is the Ladykillers, and the title of the album is called Peep. I didn't show you the back of it, did I? The back cover. And there we go. So nice cover actually. There we go. There we go. Actually nice. So let's have the other side of it now, shall we? Just see what someone's just popped in. Just see who that is before we do. And then we'll play the other side. We'll have a look at, have a listen to that. I thought the first side was very good. And it's generally filled. It's got plenty of tracks on it. Good afternoon, Mark. Good afternoon, sir. Nice to see you with us. So it doesn't take a new record long to get dirty, does it? Oh, won't you? That must be sticking. I don't know why. I'll have to look into that. It's very rare I play records at 33.
long as we're back the same day. Do-do-do-dum, do-dum-do-dum, do-do-do-dum, do-dum-do-dum-dum.
You're just one step closer.
Right, let's just put it away. I think the reason why, yeah, it's a bit stiff on the spindle. Yeah, I thought that'd probably be the reason. Anyway, never mind. What did I think? More importantly, what did you lot think? I actually thought it was an excellent record, to be perfectly honest. I think it's well worth, if you're buying it, I think it's well worth what you're going to pay for it. It's definitely worth a listen. More than a listen, it will get played again. That's for certain. It's, yep, a pleasure to have it in my collection. And what can I say? Well, it had, for me, it had like a rather very pleasing, judging by the dance set on the front, but not only that, it had a very pleasing sort of 60s, very sort of mellow psychedelic quality, very mellow, but it's there, and I thought that was very pleasing. Yeah, you can understand what the guys and girls are singing about. There's definitely a story to it, which is what we look for on a record. Because, as most people who know me, I can't stand modern music. You know, I don't like. I'll give you a trombone in a minute, son. I know you've had to wait. I'm not a big lover of modern music, but I'll see what Mark's got to say in a second. Who was very instrumental in the making of the record. And yes, a very go on in a minute. Go on, a very pleasing record to listen to. Well worth having, I think. And I shall listen to it again, probably in the front room on the Garage Zero. Because as we know, this is only mono, but still, yeah, it sounded really well on this old Acker, that's for sure, no question of a doubt there. It sounded really nice, it sounded clean, it sounded fresh, and yeah, I think it's well worth having. The track, you know, there's plenty of tracks on it. They're not overly long, they're not too short, you know, they're not long enough where you're going to get fed up of listening to it. They're not short enough where you think, oh, I wish there was a bit more. They're just about right for my opinion, you know, in my opinion. Yeah, and, you know, to Mark and the rest of the guys, in making that, I think you did a fabulous job. Absolutely top job. And you know, there's not really much else I can say. You know, I will find the link for this and for Mark and his group, and I'll put it in the description. I've not done it yet, I should have done. I have not done it yet, but I will do. It's, yeah, you know, there's only so much you can say, but I think the thing I'm trying to say here is, yeah, excellent. Really nicely done. Nicely recorded, nice to cover. The songs are all nice. No worries, Mark. It was more than a pleasure to give it a spin. Absolutely, I said I would. Yeah, absolutely, mate. That was a very pleasurable listen. And I do recommend. I'm not saying that because you sat there watching me. I'm saying it because it was the truth. If it was rubbish, I'd say it was rubbish. Well, if I thought that, it wouldn't have got halfway through the first side, it'd come off. But it's not, and it didn't. And I think it's a brilliant LP. And it's mellow, it's nice. It does have a sort of, yeah, a sort of psychedelic-y, but only very mellow though. You can only just know it, you can just detect it's there, but it's there and it's good. But I think Mark and his mates are from that era sort of thing anyway. I was born just before the psychedelic 60s. I was born in 65, so it's people around my age group, and maybe even younger people might enjoy a listen to that, because I just thought it was very pleasing. It's a really, really nice record, and thank you very much for sending it, Mark. And I have don't really have any negative criticisms against it whatsoever. You know, there's nothing really that I thought, well, oh no, you know, that doesn't sound right. But you know, no, everything does. Really well made, really well packaged. The tunes are all good. What more can you ask for? You can't ask for anything. I'll just go and give Scraps his jumbo, and I'll be back in a minute, because I know he's waiting patient. We go to all views. But yeah, I think, yes, very, very, very good, lads and girls. Very good. Hey, I'm just trying to get out of here now. There we go. Scraps, I gave you a chocolate biscuit and you've left half of it on the floor. What are you like? Oh, what are you like? Let me get your jumbo. Christ, it's getting dark already. Wow. Hey. Jumbo. Sit nice. Sit. Shake hands. There you go. Take it gently. Good boy. You go and eat that. Yeah, that's another one to add to the collection. Good evening, good afternoon, Harvey. Yeah, I thought it was a great record. Absolutely. Yeah. And Mark was saying, nice surprise, didn't think we'd see you today. No, well, to be honest with you, Mark, I didn't think I'd see you today. I didn't think I'd see anybody. I didn't think this record would have got here today. It got here fast, because Mark only sent it out a couple of days ago. Thursday, I think he sent it out. Either Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I think it was. It got here today. Lovely. So it got in one piece. And you know, which is always nice to get a record in one piece, isn't it? It means if it comes in one piece, you can damn play it. You know. But yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. You know. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah. a very nice mellow, a very mellow and a very mellow, a nice bottle of wine and a chilled down album, very easy listening. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, but it is a nice record, and what's more important, it's nice to see that records. Hey, my finger's sticking up. Look, there we go. It's nice to see that there's still people that are able to actually. I've lost two cameras. That are actually able to make nice music nowadays. Because let's have it right, most of the music nowadays is rubbish, isn't it? You know, it's all this, you know, stuff that, you know, they cater to young people. They don't think about us people that might want to sit there and might want to sit there, like you say, with a bottle of wine or a bit of a beer and just chill out. You know, or just even with a cup of tea and just sit there and chill out and listen to it. I mean, yeah, very you know, it's yeah, cracking record. I can't you know, yeah, I can't speak highly enough of it. I mean, my words don't do it justice. The best way to experience it is to get a copy and put it on your own machine, put it on your own record player, and sit there and have a listen. But there are, I think, all the tracks I believe are online, and I believe the tracks are online and the videos are online as well. So it'll be interesting to watch those, and I will put a link to. I will, after this video, once this ends, I'll go in and I'll find. I think I am actually subscribed to Mark's channel, but I can't remember it. I am subscribed to it, so we'll dig that out, and we'll get a link to Mark, and you can all, you know, have a listen to it again. Well, you can have a listen to it again just by going back in, because this video will be up. I mean, my videos, folks, you know, my videos are going to be up forever. If I've got out to do it, my videos are going to be up forever. When I'm no longer here, my daughter will take over the channel. Not putting anything on it, not maintaining it, because it won't need it. She'll just have the password and stuff, so she can go in and she can turn it into a tribute channel and stuff like that. But my channel will be there for as long as YouTube exists. I hope that. But anyway, let's not think about that just yet. Yeah, it really brought out the hacker, that record did, because it's nice to hear. It's nice to. I've actually been wanting to find out what the hacker sounds like with a brand new record that nobody's played, and it does. It sounds really crisp. It sounds really clean. It's a nice clean record. There's nothing on it that shouldn't be there. There's no horrible pops or clicks or, you know, no mistakes. There's nothing there that you wouldn't expect to find. It's just a great record. Yeah, I might have a listen to it again. I'll probably put it on tonight on the Zero in the front room and just have the light down a bit and just chill out. See what it sounds like on the Zero on the Sansui speakers with a realistic amplifier. But yeah, it's definitely one that's going in the collection, although it won't be going in the bookcase until after I've played it, so I'll leave it there for now. I'll play it again later. Play it again, jam, absolutely. Yeah, brilliant record. I can't speak highly enough of it, folks, so I'll leave that there, and I'm not going to go just yet because let's take that off there. Let's just have a look at that thing there. No, it's not too thingy. No, it could be the record just a bit tight on the spindle, because it felt a bit tight when I lifted it off, so I'm not worried about that at this point. But Really, really pleased. I'm glad the mail service managed to get it here without destroying it. Getting scraps, he does me head in. He stands at the front door sniffing, and he doesn't need to go out because he's been out. He's just had his jumbo. He's got a bowl full of water. Yeah, I've not long had my lunch. I've got a can of Coke, a can of Pepsi even. But yeah, I'm. Yeah, let's have a look at the back of this and see if there's anything I missed. I think I read the track listing out at the beginning, didn't I? And it does say, it might even say what the link is on here. All tracks can be found on YouTube. Art by Robert Roy Hickling, Uncle Bob. Well done, Uncle Bob, that looks really nice. Yep. Yep. Very, very good. And look at this here. No digital editing has been used. All instruments, all vocals live by, yeah, Richard A. Hickling the guitar, Christopher J. Hickling drums and guitar. Now I know what all the stars and stuff mean. Mark J. Hickling keys, guitar, vocals. Hannah, I hope I don't get this wrong. Hannon Yay Phi. Yeah, is it? Vocals. Debbie Croft. Yeah. Chino Hills. Yeah, CA. Yeah, that's the American girl, isn't it? Yeah. Supporting and engineering us for over 1 year. There are mention who helped by supporting and encouraging us for over the 1 year and 2 months it took to make this album. But special thanks must go to Steve Gerald, mynbr.com, Fredericksburg, Vieira, yeah, and Bernie, Eric Constance, and Bernie Hickling. Written and produced by Mark J. Hickling. 2002, the Ladykillers, yeah, all tracks can be here. That's covered the back of it. And yeah, there we go, folks. That's yeah. Well, YouTube, you can't content match that because I've had permission from its creators to play it. And if you do, I'll dispute it. Absolutely. Like I did with the George Formby. Like, for example, there are no copyright. Go on, Scraps. Go on. Go and eat that biscuit. There are no copyright on any George Formby records. It's all out of copyright, all of it. And when I did my talk on George Formby, they pulled me up for content matching, and I sent them a reply back. I appealed it and won the appeal because there's no copyright on it. If somebody chooses to use a George Formby record as part of their record or in a commercial, that doesn't mean to say they own it, and they can't content match it. And if they do, you just tell YouTube. But I don't think this will get copyright content matched. If it does, I'll just do what Mark said Yeah, and oh, you're welcome, Mark. No worries, mate. It was a pleasure, and I mean it was a real pleasure to actually get it and to play it. If I went in a shop and I saw that on the shelf, would I buy it? If I walked in, as I walked in and just saw that cover, would I buy it? Yeah, of course I would. Why? Because it's got a dance set on the front. You know, I'd buy it. I would get that just for the simple reason it's got a dance set on the front. And I'd think to myself, well, if it's got a dance set on the front, then the tracks must be good. So I'd buy that for that simple reason. And that's the sort of cover that I would look for in a shop. If I was buying a record, that's the sort of thing I would look for. And I would buy it for that reason. I'd get it home and play it, and I'd enjoy it. So, you know, yeah, definitely. A happy new year to all the Ladykillers, and including yourself and your good lady wife as well, Mark. Absolutely. Well, an happy new year to all my subscribers, whoever what you are or what you do, or no matter what. If anybody else has got any material, any records, if we've got any more creative, yeah, it is. It is, isn't it? You know, these hackers, they are good machines, Mark. They really are. I mean, what you hit, you know, you hear everything. You hear everything on the record. The sibilance is good and everything. I mean, you know, they do recommend that you play the record with the top down, but I had the top up on this occasion because, you know, you had to see something going round while it was playing. You know, I had to give you something to look at. You didn't want to stare at my ugly mug. You know, for the time it took to play that. But yeah, yeah, I'm really pleased that I got it, and you know, like I say, moving on a bit. We've got plenty of projects for the new year. I've got some BSRs here that I actually could do with being serviced. I might even do those. Start on them in the new year. I've got some stuff to get rid of. The homemade record player, the Mildred's having that. That's the one that came from my friend in Wivenshaw. You could buy the amp and the plinth separate, and somebody had put them together. So, but they put them together rather crudely. So I tidied it up. There's a video on there. I can't remember what it's called. I can't see the front of it, but there's a video on it on there. It's up on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, and there's a couple of radios knocking about, need to be finished off. We've got Charlie's Murphy to get finished. We've got Phil's Costa Brandy's to get finished. We've still got to put a transformer in that. One or two other jobs, not a lot, about 2 or 3 radios to do. There's another amplifier up there, which is the same. It's basically the same idea as the one in the homemade record player, but it's a more powerful amp. I got it from Jay over at Jay's Vintage Junk. I got it a long time ago. I did him a deal. I did him a deal for some amplifiers for an Acorn Electron that he had off me. So, because that's how me and Jay deal. We don't deal in money. We just deal in things. If he's got something I want, then I find something that he wants to get, so that I can get it off him, or the other way around. Even if I've got something, if he spots something and he wants it, then, you know, we do a deal. If the item's available, that is, and they usually are, because you can't keep everything as much as I'd like to. I've got Steve's personal Ferguson personal to get back onto. The reason I've not got onto the personal is because the what do you call it is still at Jay's, and I keep forgetting every time I speak to Jay. I keep saying to myself, when I speak to Jay, I'm going to ask Jay to bring back the veneer, because Jay borrowed the end of the veneer, borrowed a bit off the end of it to restore his one of his radios. He only needed a little bit, and there's more than enough to do the Ferguson. Even with Jay snapping a little bit off the end of it, so he only took what would have been cut off at the end anyway, and that did his radio. So I keep meaning to ask him to bring it back so that I can get stuck into doing that, and then I can get the chassis back in and I can get the tube back in and get the chassis back in, wire everything back up, and I can then put it in the boot of Steve's car for him, because Steve wants to do the chassis himself. I was going to do the whole chassis, but Steve wants to do that, so I'm going to let him do that himself. So have a look at the chat. So we've got a few things for the coming year. Yeah, it's definitely real music. There's no two ways about that. You know, no two way. I thought, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was really good. One of the best things I've heard in quite a while. Because as we all know, I don't do modern music. I can't listen to new music. It's just not me. You know, there's no story, there's no tune, nothing on it. There's nothing in there for me. But that had everything I would look for. And a lot more besides. But yeah, it's a nice chill out album with a bottle. Yeah, a nice bottle of something nice and mellow, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a bit of wine and cheese and just throw that on and just sit there and chill out. You know, what more could you ask for? I'm going to let him out the back because he's been... what have I just unplugged? Hang on, I've just unplugged something. Oh no, I haven't. What I've actually done, just caught my feet on my speaker wire for my scope and snapped it. Never mind. It'll give me another job to do, won't it? Repairing that. Oh well, it happens. It happens. Yeah, I've gone and I'm gonna have to repair that. I'm not doing so. I only use that for CB radios, and I'm not doing any CB radios at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. I'll get it done when it needs to be done. I caught my foot. It was just looped there, and I caught my foot on it. Oh, never mind. Let's let you out, shall we, lad? Hey? And there's still half a biscuit on the floor you haven't eaten. Although I dare say you'll come back to that later. Move. There. It's a bit crappy out here, fella. There we go. Go on. Yeah, he can sit out there for a bit. It's actually not a bad day today, folks. It's actually pretty mellow. It's pretty mild. Yeah, it's not bad. And I think we've lost camera too. How have we managed to do that? Yeah, here we have. There we go. You always know, don't you? You can tell because things disappear. Yeah. And Yeah, well, I want to try and rearrange the workshop after New Year. I need to find somewhere to put that disco console. It doesn't get used as much. It doesn't really need to be there. It could be... I've got to find the screws that go in the bottom of it. I put them away. They're in a drawer somewhere. I need to dig them out and put it back together. Just screw the bottom back on. I can find somewhere. Probably slide it under the bed or something. Because it doesn't get used. I just lubricate it before I do, so it doesn't seize up over it. I'll take the belts off so they don't stretch. Shit like that really. But yeah, I'm impressed. And we're going to have to sort the workshop out, make it a more inviting environment for the new year. I'm going to resurface the bench. I've got some wood. I'm sure I've got some wood in the shed. Well, it's not wood, it's MDF, but it's thin sheets, about 1/2 inch thick. I've got 2 of them, and they should be just long enough. I'll have to cut them down actually, make them fit. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some contact adhesive, that Evo stick. Open the windows and the front door, and I'm gonna clear the bench off, sand it down, and spread it all over the complete bench, and then glue the new panels into position. And I'm gonna order some more of these green mats, because that one's getting a bit past it now. I'm gonna order some more green mats, and what I'll do, I'll order a couple of those, 2 or 3 of those, and because I might even make the bench a bit longer if I can. If it's possible, I might make it a bit longer. I can't go any wider. I'd like it to be a bit wider, but I can't go any wider with it. But I can certainly think I can go a bit longer. But this bench has been here now since about 2015-16 or something. This bench has been here because when my daughter left, she left a wardrobe behind, and I took it apart carefully and made the workbench out of it. And she come back a week later and asked if she could have her wardrobe. I said, "You've had that." She says, "Why?" I said, "I turned it into a workbench." Because my workbench was actually a door. Not from here, it was from where I was. It was from the marital home. Well, it weren't even from there. I got it given off a guy over the road from us. It is a conquest, yes. Yes, it is. It's that's the conquest. I believe that's the conquest that I repaired the amplifier. Mark sent the amplifier down to me, because I've done 2 amplifiers for Mark. I've done a major deluxe, I think it was. Sure it was a major. I'm sure Mark will correct me. I think I did a major deluxe, or a major, and I did the dance set. I did the Auto Conquest, and I only did the amp. He didn't send the whole record player because he did the changer himself. But I did the amplifier for him in it. So that's yeah, that's one part of it. Half of it, well, the amplifier half of it's been here, and you know, I think it's a nice touch actually putting a dance set on the cover, because, like I've already said, you know, if I walked in a record shop and I was thumbing through records and I spotted that cover, I'd buy the record unheard just because I like what's on the cover, and then I'd worry about whether I like the record once I got it home. You know, I'd think about that afterwards. And a lot of my record purchases are like that. I like the look of the cover. If I've never heard the artist, if I like the look of the cover, then I'll buy the record and take a chance. And usually I'm not wrong. You know, I mean, most records I've got, you know who the artist is, but you get the odd one. It's like when Oasis first came out, before they were well known. They released a record. I think it was Wonderwall, I can't remember. but the first one they released, no one had ever heard of them. I'd never heard of them, and I went in HMV, and they had the 12-inch single in their sort of like unheard of section, like, you know, new music section where things go where nobody's heard of them, and I bought the record and I took it home, and I was doing it. I was DJing actually. I was doing a disco. I bought it with some record vouchers I was given from my sister-in-law, who's no longer with us. I bought that and so a few other things out of HMV, a few other records out of HMV, and I took it with me. I was doing the New Year's disco, 1994 I think it was. Yeah, it would have been 1994 in the spread. I was doing the New Year's Eve disco of 1994 in the Spread Eagle in Wivenshaw in Northington, and I put it on in there. I thought, oh, I'll play this, you know. I'd already played it and liked it. I thought, oh, I'll play this, and I put it on, and you know, I kept getting asked who it was, and could I play it again, you know. You know, but I'd never heard of them. I mean, I knew of the guys that were in the group. Same as Take That, they were from round the corner from where I used to live. Robbie Williams and Jason Orange and who's the other one, I can't remember. But all them lot, they were all round the corner from where I lived. You know, them lads, so I knew all them. They used to go in the pubs around my area. So I knew them all, but you know, yeah, it's just nice to get something fresh. You know, so something fresh where a lot of effort's gone in. You know, because clearly a lot of effort has gone into making that. There's no two ways about it, because it sounds really, really nice, and you know, it's yeah. At the end of the day, I hope you managed to flog lots of them, Mark. They're certainly worth it. I hope you managed to, yeah. I was watching Sky News the other day, and for the first time in 50, I think it's the first time in 30 years, they said, that vinyl LPs have overtaken the sales of compact discs. Well, it's about time, because the record, you know, when people used to say to me years ago, records have gone extinct and they never come back. And I used to turn around and say, no, it's only gone away, vinyl's only gone away on holiday. As soon as it finishes its holidays, it'll be back. And I was right, it's back. All they need to do now is start manufacturing decent machines. Really nice modern machines to play it on. I mean, the old machines are nice. But they want to try designing, I mean, a brand new record played on one of these Chinese crappy players will probably just sound like, you know, any old record, but played on one of these old hackers, it really does make the record, you know, it adds a whole dimension to the sound. And that's what's missing with today's record players. There's no quality in them, and they need to start putting the quality back. And I'm, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure if they put the quality back, people will pay a bit more. You know, I might even be tempted to go out and buy a modern record player myself if they make something as good as what I've already got, which was made 40 odd years ago, 50 years ago. If they can put that kind of technology into them, again, which they can, you know, they just won't, because it's all about profit really. They want to forget about the profit margin, not totally, because everyone has to make a bit, a bit of money, but forget about it a little bit, and you know, give people a decent product. You know, a product that sounds really, really, really nice. You know, I mean, we're not bothered about getting stereo sound. You know, I've just played that stereo record on that mono record player that sounded absolutely fabulous. So we're not bothered about stereo sound. But what we do, we want high fidelity sound at an affordable price, and if we get it at an affordable, if we get what we ask for, you know, somebody once said, "Give the people what they want, they'll pay for it," and you know something, that is dead right. You give the people what they want, they'll pay for it. But given that YouTube, I believe, is banned in China, the people that make all the stuff will never hear this. Aye. It's getting up there for it, isn't it? Thanks anyway though, Mark. Yeah, I'll try. If I can get there, I'll certainly take it off you. Absolutely. Yeah, claim to. I suppose that is my claim to fame. Yeah. You know, playing Wonderwall before anybody heard of it, and yeah, knowing those lads. You know, they all lived round the corner from me. On Broad, I think they lived in Penshurst Avenue, just not Penshurst Avenue, it's round here. Pendlebury Avenue, just off. I think it's Pendlebury Avenue, just off Broad Oak Road. I think they lived. Yeah, before they were famous. But I used to see them before they were famous. I used to see them, and this is true. I used to see them singing on the karaoke in the Silver Birch. To take that, lads. You know, they used to go and sing. They used to go on the karaoke in the Silver Birch in Wythenshawe. I never met the Oasis lads, but I knew where they lived. They lived in Burnage, which is not far from here. But I never met them. But I have spoken to, before they were famous, I have spoken to, and I did know some of the Take That lads. Not all of them, I knew some of them. But there we go. It's a small world. And it's surprising actually what Wythenshawe has actually produced. That, what's her name? Catherine, I can't remember her name. Catherine, I can't remember. She played in the Royal Family, she played the daughter. What was her name? She was a Wythenshawe girl. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of famous people came from there. It might have done, yeah. I think it did, yeah. I can't remember though. But yeah. Yeah, I mean my favourite, hang on. There we go. Yeah, my favourite Oasis record, and I'll admit, I don't have a favourite Take That one. I like a couple of theirs, but my favourite Oasis record is actually Roll With It. It's a brilliant song. But let's just see who's popped up there. Somebody did. Hello, Psychedelic Xylophone. Hello, sir. And not seen you for a couple of weeks, but you're still more than welcome. Yeah, I don't know whether you heard the record, but you haven't missed it. No one will. It'll still be up there long after I'm not, I hope. And you know, you can listen to it at your leisure. And it's definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, it's definitely worth a listen. In my opinion, I think it's worth a listen. You just don't get music like that nowadays. Yes, it is. It is. It's the Acker Grenadier GP45. Yeah, I've got two of these. I've got this one up for sale, but I'm thinking of withdrawing it because, to be perfectly honest, I do quite like the animals, so I think I might keep this one. I think I'll withdraw this one. I think I'll hang on to this. I'll do the other one, and because it's a bit scruffier, I'll sell it a bit cheaper. That might be the way to go because, yeah, I do like this one. And, you know, but like I say about hackers, you know, when you put a record on a hacker, you hear everything on the record. You know, the syllabus is lovely. You know, it's, you know, they're just all round good record players, and that's why there's still a lot of them. There's still a lot of them about, and they were popular and they were expensive when they were new. They weren't cheap. You know, to buy that when it was new, you were well off. You know, you know when you were buying these brand new, you know, you were a serious record collector. You know, you weren't buying it because it was going to go in your kid's bedroom. It might have ended up there one day, but not yet. You know, it might have ended up there in towards the 80s or something, but you know, I think these probably had a service life of about 10 or 15 years, but looked after, they could go well longer than that. I mean, the service life is how long they provide the spares for. Hacker don't exist, so don't provide any spares. But every single component that makes this up, every single electronic component that makes this up can still be purchased off the shelf. There's nothing in that you can't buy off the shelf. And you know, any trims you need, you could probably make them or have them made. I haven't got the add-on amplifier. No, I would love to have one actually, but I've not got one. I've not got one. I'm on the lookout, but one will turn up one day, I think. If it doesn't, I'm not bothered. I'm quite happy to listen to that in mono. It's pleasing. It sounds all right. Let's just have a look what Mark's saying. I used to take my ABBA vinyl to the club. I went to the way back when the jockeys had turntables. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Christ alive, the younger generation wonder what the hell's going on now. I know. Yeah, you've got 2 Grenadiers and 1 add-on speaker for them. Andy, I have an LP that will not entertain being played on my brother's Bang & Olufsen. Well, I'm not surprised at that. Bang & Olufsen's, they're like bit razors. Use once and throw away because of the cost of the stylus. I mean, where did he get? I threw a perfectly good one. Oh, hang on. It plays perfectly on your dance set. Yeah, that's nearer the truth. Yeah, that's near the truth. But I had a Bang & Olufsen. I got it from Jay over at Jay's Vintage Junk. I did him one of our usual deals. You know, he had something I wanted, I got something he wanted, and we exchanged. And but this thing didn't have a cartridge on the end of it, and I knew that before getting it because Jay made it clear in his video, and he made it clear how much the cartridge cost, so there was nothing hidden. Anyway, I says to Jay, would you be interested in doing a deal? because I wouldn't mind having that, because the cassette deck didn't work, so it needed repair. I'll have it for a video, so we did a deal. I traded him an original old Xbox for it, which had been modded. Anyway, I repaired the cassette recorder. It all worked fine, and I hunted everywhere for a cartridge, and I couldn't find one anywhere, not at the right price. And it was there, you know, it was propped up against the bedroom wall for that long. It was a BO Centre 2000. You know, it was propped up against the bedroom door for that long. Against the bedroom wall, sorry, for that long. One day my mate come round with his scrap truck, and I just took it outside and launched it onto his truck. So there, Mick, take that. I don't think much of Bang & Olufsen. In fact, Bang & Olufsen never actually made anything. They were just a badge. They were just a Swedish badge. They never actually made anything, because if you look at the old stuff, it's Philips. I've got a B&O tape deck. And basically it's a Philips tape deck. It just says Bang & Olufsen on it, but you take it apart, you soon discover the Philips, with all the connectors and everything else, and the parts that have got Philips stamped all over them. They are Philips, the old stuff. They also had stuff made for them by Hitachi. Philips made some of their televisions. Hitachi made their video recorder. They only made one model, and it was an Hitachi, because I had one. I had the Hitachi version as well. And that thing that I chucked on my mate's scrap truck, that was made by Matsushita. The amplifiers were made by Mitsubishi, so it was Japanese. You have to look at these things very carefully. It says designed in Sweden, designed in Denmark, sorry. It says designed in Denmark, it doesn't say it was made there. Someone just blew something up. I'm going to let him in. Yeah, that probably made him jump out of his fur. Oh, I nearly jumped out of my underpants. Hang on a minute. Alright, son, I'm here. Right. I know that was a loud bang, wasn't it? That was very loud, wasn't it? And merciless. Come on. In you come. There you go. Oh, it's pretty mild out there today, guys. Yeah, Bang & Olufsen, it's made for people that want a hi-fi but don't want to show, but don't want it to be seen. It's like Dynatrons, they put it in all them fancy cabinets. You know, it was really designed to blend in. You know, it was aimed at people who had a country house and furniture with Queen Anne legs and stuff on it. And, you know, something like an Amstrad wouldn't blend in, but one of them Dynatrons did. And Bang & Olufsen was designed to be unintrusive. Yeah, I've got a hi-fi, but, you know, you can't really see it because it's, you know, yeah, because it's over there in the corner, and it's on that shelf, and you can't really see it because it's all dead small. You know, but it was all complicated to work on as well, and it overheated because there was no sufficient way of cooling it. Yeah, Carolina Hearn, I think they've pronounced the name right. Yeah, that was her. They do sound superb in stereo. I had my first one when I was 12, connected to a pair of Wartel 6-ohm speakers. It sounded really good. I used to play it loud though, and it didn't take kindly to 6-ohm loads. And finally the two power power diodes must have shorted as the transformer started to smoke. Mark Anderson, Paula Wilcox from Man About the House was a Manchester last too, Andy, that's true. Good stuff has come out from Manchester, it has, and Liverpool. You know, Manchester and Liverpool, because they're so close together, they're sat on the banks of the Mersey. They've provided a hell of a lot of talent between them. You know, over the years. I mean, they really have. And the music in the 60s, it was the charts. It was dominated by Liverpool and Manchester bands. You know. With the odd sprinkling of everybody else, but yeah, no, I'm not a Bang & Olufsen. I'm not a Bang & Olufsen man. I mean, I've you know, a friend of mine bought a Bang & Olufsen amplifier years ago, and he was dead chuffed until he brought it to me for repair. Hang on a minute, someone at my door. He brought it to me for repair and I indicated it was made by the Rank organisation. Hang on! Who is it? Delivery. Another one. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no worries, I think she's in, but I'll see if she gets it. No worries. Yeah. She must have gone out of Courtney. The girl from upstairs. She's been alright just recently, actually. I've not had any problems. I did have all that trouble with her. Noise and stuff, but over the last couple of months, I think the council had a word with her, and over the last couple of months it's all calmed down. And that was the postie just knocking on, asking if I'd take a packaging for her. Of course I will. You know, I don't see the point of being a twat. You know, what's the point of doing that? You know. So, there we go. I think she's in, but didn't answer her door, or he didn't ring her bell. And Mark Anderson saying, I think it's the BSR decks. I like BSR. I mean, my favourite's a Garrett, but Psychedelic is telling us about what's he got. I have a few Hacker Centurions which use the same amp modules. That's right, they do. They sound superb. Not too easy to set up. The BIOS spot on at 56 millivolts. Nope, they are a pig in the ass set up. I know, I did that one. Because the information they give you in the manual, I don't go off the information they give you in the manual, because the amplifiers get way too hot. And when they're at idle, they're way too hot. And I don't think an amplifier should get that hot when it's just at idle doing no work. I mean, let's face it, a human being doesn't get knackered if he just sat around doing no work all day, does he? Nothing does. You know, if he's at rest, then it doesn't, and it's not doing any work, it shouldn't be getting hot. So I think the information they give you in the manual is wrong. And I set this one up here according to how I think it should be set. I can't remember it now, but I did make a note. I've got notes somewhere. And the other one, when I do that, will be set up exactly the same. I think the manual wants you to set it up for something like 150 milliamps or something like that. I'll tell you what, let's have a quick look. Because we're doing nothing, so pardon my bare leg. That's the wrong part of my dressing gown. There we go. Oh, sorry, you can't see now. Right. Look at my leg on camera. It's as white as a gingerbird's ass. Right, so I want to look at, and I can't remember whether it's in this one. I think it's in the other folder. And I think it's in this one here. So let's go to here and, oops, wrong one. Let's get it out and have a look at the, here we are, radial servicing. Updates. Data. Hacker. Hacker. We want the GP45. Well, that ain't any of them. RP45, sorry. That's none of them. So it must be in this one. GP42. No, it's not. It's in the other one. Oh yeah, bummer. It's in this one. But yeah, they use the same amp modules. I mean, you can't blame them, but they get ferociously hot. If you set them up to how they want you to set them, they get stupidly hot. And they shouldn't get that hot. GP45 Grenadier, there's the one. So we'll have a look at that, see what it tells you. But whatever it tells, it is wrong. I believe it to be wrong. I don't think. I think this manual's wrong. Because when I set it up to the manual, it got red hot, stupidly hot. And when I set it to where I want it to go, here we are, power supply. It should tell us in a minute where we need to. It should tell us our adjustment. Here we are. I'll do this so that we can all see it. If I can bring it up. Let's come down to window. There we are. We can all see that. So basically, it's the amplifier A208 measured with an AVO 8 meter. Right, yeah, 150 milliamp. I thought I was right. Yeah, output current IQ equals 150 milliamp, set cold in brackets 120 milliamp, adjusted by RV2, measured with meter inserted into collector lead to T6 midpoint, which is midpoint between the two transistors. Voltage 18.5 volts, measured with the voltmeter connected between the junction of R13 and R14 and negative rail of chassis. Now what I did, I did all that and I set it to how they wanted it to be set, and the amplifier, you could have fried an egg on it after about half a minute, less even. It just heated up very, very quickly. So what I did, I decided to set it up so that the transistors, let's get rid of that, let's bring you back up here. Let's get rid of that, let's go back to the cameras. I decided to set it up so that the transistors are pretty much evenly, they pretty much warm up evenly. I think one does slightly, I think one is slightly ahead of the other, but it's as close as I can get them. The other problem it had was when it was set at the factory settings. You were lucky if you could get through two singles without the sound just cutting off. because it was just getting too warm and the sound was just going off. And then you turn it off, leave it 10 seconds, turn it back on and the sound will be there. But yeah, I can't remember the settings, but I'm probably nearer your settings, Psychedelic, than sorry, Mark. Who was it? Yeah, I'm probably nearer your settings, Psychedelic, than I am nearer theirs, obviously. Because the amplifier shouldn't get red hot, you shouldn't be able to fry an egg on it. Yeah, hot to the touch, not hot as you can't touch them. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you should. You should be able to grip one, yeah, for about a minute or two, and then think, okay, now that is a bit warm, and leave go. It's a bit toasty, and leave go. Yeah, I'll agree with that. But, you know, after about 20 seconds, maybe a minute of turning it on, with no record playing, with it doing no work, they should not get so you can fry an egg on them. And I think the information in the manual, I think the information given in the manual is wrong. And I've said it before, and I've said it again, and I'm going to maintain that, because while this has been at the settings that this is at, it's worked absolutely perfectly. It's not overheated. I've had no problems with the sound. Yeah, they do. That's because that's basically the reason why one module gets hotter than the other is basically because it's an imbalance of the two modules. The idea is to try and balance both modules so that they get about the same heat, because they'll both be getting the same voltage from the power supply. They both should be getting about 36 volts from the power supply, and I think I'd have to watch the video back, but I can't remember now. But I think I set my midpoint. I think I set my midpoint where it should be 18 volts. I think I set that to about 20 volts. I went up to about 20 volts on that, which doesn't sound a lot from 18 to 20, but it bloody is. In that scale, it is. You know, it's. You know, if there's a difference between burning up the amplifier and not burning up the amplifier, then it's a world of difference. I definitely think so. Yeah, they're Class A, B circuit set up for fast idle. Yeah. Oh well, even so, I still don't think it should get that hot that quick. Get hot, yeah, any amplifier is going to get hot. If you make it work, it will get hot. But I just don't think they should get that hot that quick, and mine don't. You know, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't feel comfortable selling it, knowing that the silicon in it was running that hot. I mean, I've heard of stories where, you know, they've melted the grill off the bottom. They've got that hot. Somebody's had it on a carpet, and the amplifier's got that hot, and the grill's melted on the grill on the bottom's melted off. You know, I've heard all sorts of stories over the years, and I just think, you know, I just think that an amplifier should warm up nice and gradually. That's right, they do. Yeah, well, you replace those. You basically replace those as a matter of course. Really, I've got to order one for the other hacker. That's the only thing that's stopping me putting it back together, is because I want to do it all in one hit. I don't want to start it and then have to stop. I want to clean the chassis frame up, the chassis up that the power supply is in, put the new part in. Only needs that capacitor. I'm not replacing the diodes. There's no need to replace the diodes. I think the BY127's in them. They'll be okay. They'll probably outlast. They'll probably outlive the machine. I'm not replacing them. There's no point. I will replace the capacitor in the power supply, and then it's all good to go back together. It can be put on the bench and bench tested, and we can make all our settings on the amplifier when it's on the bench. They actually put 2 little slots. They put 2 little holes in the heatsink on their amplifiers, so you can get down there with your plastic tool. So you don't need to use a plastic tool, but I find it best to err on the edge of caution and go down there with a plastic tool in case you hit something, in case you miss the pot and hit somewhere else. But I've got a nice long tool that gets me in there. And you can adjust it without having to take the heatsink and circuit board apart. And that's what I will do. That's what I will do when I set that up, but I'll be doing a full video on setting it up again anyway. But they dry out for the lack of use. They've not been used for 40 odd years, some of them. So yeah, they're gonna dry out, aren't they? They're gonna just turn to resistors really, or turn into a dead short the minute you switch them on. But yeah, I need to put a new one in that other one. That other one needs a bit of cosmetic work as well. The Rexine on the sides and the lid and everything's okay. It's just the wood trim that's on it needs a bit of work. And I think the grill could do the coat of paint. And that's it really. But you know, and the deck's a bit cut. The deck's a bit scabby. So I'm not putting that deck back in. I've got another deck down there I'm gonna put in place of it. It'll be a garage. But I'm putting another one in that's nice and clean, because I don't fancy stripping it and repainting it. But we'll see. We'll hopefully in the next couple of months get that sorted. Yeah, Courtney must have gone out. I didn't see her go. Oh, hang on. Oh, I think I did see her go out. I think I did see her go out because I can't hear the baby running about. I can normally hear Little Legs. I can't hear him today, little Tom. But I heard him earlier, and then I heard her close her front door. So yeah, she must have gone out. It doesn't matter, she'll get her package when she comes back. She'll knock on. You know. But there we go. How many people have we got left on? 7's not bad. Yeah, the potentiometer's not brilliant, adding them. But they do sound good, like you say on them. You know, a nice big 15-inch speaker up front. They do sound good. You know, I like them. You know, I like Hacker record players. I'm not a big fan of their radios. Not that there's anything wrong with Hacker radios. You know, yeah. You know, I'm not a big fan of Hacker radios, but I do like the Hacker record players. I mean, I think what it is with the radios, there's nothing wrong with them, like I just said. Just that they're hungry fuckers. They have to put 2 PP9s in most of them, because they have an 18-volt amplifier. So he wants to see 18 volts just for the amp. You know, which I don't know. I don't know who was around the table when that was suggested and approved. Instead of hitting him, they all said, "Yeah, what a brilliant idea." Then people have to put 2 batteries in, and they'll soon get fed up of doing that. That's why there's a lot of good hackers about, because as soon as people realised you had to put 2 batteries in, they didn't want to do that too many times. That's why there's a lot of nice ones about. But yeah, I hope you all have. I'm going to shoot off shortly. How long have I been here? Yeah, I'll give it a couple of minutes, I think, and make a move. And yeah, we've just got up to 9 watchers. Yeah, I might be compelled to stay a bit longer. Yeah. The pots are not brilliant in them, but you know, all that stuff can be improved upon. I mean, you can buy stuff now that you can put in them that will work. I mean, like I said before, every component in an amplifier's you can get every single component, maybe not exactly the value of capacitors, because they don't do certain values anymore. Like 50 microfarads, they're pretty hard to come by. The preferred now is 47, so I just put 47s in. If they're an odd number, like eights are pretty hard to come by. I put 10s in. You know, stuff like that. I just put as near as damn it in, because the amp doesn't really know. It doesn't say, "Oh, I'm not having that." Yes, I agree. That's very, very true. They put a notice inside the lid, don't they? You know, for better bass performance, close the lid when playing. You know, I usually do. But yeah, Courtney's in because I can hear her moving about, so she's in. So she mustn't have heard the doorbell. Yeah, she'll get a message on her phone or something, or a card through her door. It's been left down here. But So have we all got, what New Year plans have we got tonight? I mean, I'm going to spend it quietly on my own probably. I don't know what have you lot got planned. Anything good? Yeah, anything good? Let me know what your plans are. Not that it makes any difference, but it's just interesting. We'll see if we can get to the see if we can pass the 3,000 subscriber mark next year. I'm confident of that we will. We'll have a load more projects. Hopefully, well, Goldborn comes around again in a few months. April, yeah, 3 months. Yeah, January, February, March, 4 months. Yeah, we're about 4 months away, and we're back to Goldborn again. And last turnout was brilliant. We all had a right laugh. We had a good day. As regulars, we all met up, and you know, me, Chris from All Again No Idea, he turned up. I bought 5 CB radios from Chris. He had them marked up at a tenner, but he let me have them for a £5 each, which was jolly nice of him. You know, it was good going. What's his name? Odge Nodge. Joe from Ireland, he came over. We met up with him. George Christophe, he's a regular, he's always there. I always have a chat with George. He always has a different colour hair and different colour beard every time we go. Bear with me a minute, that'll be Courtney from upstairs. Hang on a minute! That'll be Courtney from upstairs. Yeah. Is that you, Courtney, love? I thought so. There you go, honey. I said to the guy, I said, I think she's in, but if she's not heard, I said, give it me, and when she gets the thing, she'll come down.
Yeah, no, we weren't in. I've just come back to pick up my charger because we're staying at Mum's tonight.
Alright, well, I'm glad you told me that, because I'll keep an eye out.
Alright. I can change it anyway, like, if I'm not going to be in, I can change it to deliver with the neighbour instead.
No, no worries, well, you can always have your stuff delivered here, I told you that.
Alright.
You know, because I'm always in, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd do it for me.
Yeah, of course I will, yeah.
You know. Anyway, will you little man have a... Well, now I know that you're out tonight, I don't have to be quiet.
No, not be as loud as you want.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, because I do try and keep it down, because I don't like the thought I might wake him up, you know. So I do try and keep it, you know, like the other night I dropped a spanner on, it dropped onto a piece of metal and it made a right clang. I thought, oh God, I thought, I hope I haven't woke him up.
No, you don't really get woke up easy, but...
Yeah, but so, yeah, I know, I hear it. I hear him crying, so then I hear his little feet go duk 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 into your bed.
Alright, thanks for that anyway.
Oh, no worries, love.
Alright,
You have a lovely evening.
you too, thank you.
You're welcome, love. Come on, you in. Right, so that's Courtney sorted out, and I don't have to worry about waking little fella tonight because they're staying at her mother's, so they're not in tonight, so that's okay. But no, I told her I don't mind her having her stuff sent here if she's going to be out, because she'd do it for me. So, you know, but I'm always in, so it does not matter. So, does Andy spend much time listening to his records? I spend probably too much time listening to mine. My collection is massive, LPs that is. I do spend time listening, yes. I do. I sometimes, the two rooms I prefer to sit in is either this room, and this is not really geared up for listening in, although the record collection is in here. It's not only in here because there's nowhere else to put it. So my record collection is in here, but this is not really ideal for listening. This not really geared up for listening in this room. It's although I've got the Sharp there, I can put that on if I want. But I generally the two places I prefer to be in is either this room or my dining room, because my dining room is what I call my shack, where all my radio gear is, and I can listen to a record in there if I want, because I've got the Amstrad TS 90 set up in there with the Amstrad executive speakers I might add, and I can if there's nothing happening on the radio, the CB are out or amateur bands, I can just put a record on. And I'll sit in there and listen. If I've got any friends round and I put a record on, I'll put it on the garage in the front room on the zero, and we'll all listen to it and enjoy it. You know, in the front room. So, you know, I do like to spend as much time listening as I do collecting. I'm always collecting. I'm always on the lookout. You know, if I want a certain record, I'll always find the money. The wallet can always be opened for certain records that I really must have. But I've got one here. I'll just quickly show it to you if I can get it off the shelf. I've got one here. I bought this one here, and this one, and there's a load of documents just fell off there as well. I might pick all that up in a minute. And this one is actually, it's quite a thick record. Is there more than one LP in that? There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be more than one LP in that. The Womble's Christmas album. How the hell did that get in there? There should only be one record. I hope it hasn't damaged this record that's in here. The cover needs sellotaping back together or gluing. No, it hasn't. No, it has. It's scuffed it there. I hope that oh, it's come off. Yeah, it's come off. I thought it scratched it. Hasn't. I bought this record, and the reason why, I don't know how the Wombles ended up getting slid in there, but I bought this. I'll just get the camera, just quickly show you. I bought this. It cost me 25 quid, but basically because it's something I just had to have, and I wanted to listen to it. Pirate collector's item. KTEL present pirate radio, including commercials and 20 golden greats, including commercials and jingles, starring Ed Stewart, and Tony Blackburn. Tony Blackburn's on one side, and Ed Stewart is on the other side. And we've got a good list of tracks here. You know, one half is Radio Caroline and the other half is Radio London. You know, you've got Keep On Running, Have I the Right, Don't Throw Your Love Away, You're 16, Big Hug of Love, Long Live Love, Mr. Tambourine Man, House of the Rising Sun, Come On Everybody, Silhouettes, For Your Love. And that's all on the Radio Caroline side. I'm not reading the artists. You all know who they are. You'll all know who they are. Then we're on the Radio London side. You've got Sunny Afternoon, High Old Silver Lining, I'm a Believer, The Night of a Thousand Eyes, San Francisco, The Boat That I Row, Here Comes My Baby, Itchy Park, Wild Thing, and Out of Time. And this is, I bought this because I've seen it and I thought I really must have that record. Of that. I'll leave it out actually because I'll give it a listen to maybe later. So we'll pop that there. But I think I know how that Wombles record got in there. I think when I slid that record on the shelf, that Wombles one must have been in there with no sleeve. Because I couldn't find the sleeve at the time. I don't know where it went. Because the workshop's a mess. And I've got the sleeve for it now. And then I must have just put I'll put it there, it won't get damaged. And when I slid that pirate radio one in, it must have slid into the record. The other record must have slid into the sleeve. That's all I could, because I would never put two records in the same sleeve. It's not something I would do, but it happened. Anyway, it's been rectified. There's no damage done, apart from the fact that everybody now knows I've got the Womble's Christmas album. But yes, Andy does spend a lot of time playing his records, and he does collecting them as well. I've been doing it longer than that. I've been collecting since I was a kid, and I'm now 57. So yeah, add it up. Estex, hi Andy, hi everyone. Yeah. Good evening, Simon. Yeah, so Mark's staying in. He'll get pissed but not go out. Safer staying. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That psychedelic xylophone is 44. Bit younger than me, mate. Yeah, a bit younger than me. I remember when I was 44. I love swapping players round. I love swapping players around from modern to retro, valve to transistorized. There is something about using a player from the 60s that you bring back. Yeah, there is. I mean, for a start, there's the quality. I mean, this hacker was made in the 70s, but they were still able to find some qualities of what in there. But in the 1980s, they started to go downhill, and then when CDs came along, everybody stopped producing them. We even went through a phase where you could buy an amplifier that didn't have a phono preamp built in. You had all your usual auxiliaries, but no phono. And I will never ever own an amp that you can't plug a record player into. I bought a Sony one. It was a lovely amp, and I didn't buy it. I got it given. Sorry, my mistake. I got it given. It was a lovely amp. I got it given off a removal fella. I'd helped his wife out with the computer. She'd got stuck sending emails and stuff, so I helped her out. You know, he asked if I'd go down. He knows our family very well, Malcolm. Knows our family very well. He's done a lot of work for us. And he knocks on, he says, could you go down and, pop up one evening? We'll make you a brew, and could you just give her a few pointers? So I said, yeah, of course I can. I think the first time I went to repair the machine. The hard drive had failed, so I put a brand new second-hand hard drive in. That got the machine up and running. And then they asked me if I'd go down and show her how to use it, so just teach her the basics really. And he knocked on my door one day and he says, I've got this and a removal job. He said, it was a lovely amplifier. I forget what model it was, but it was Sony. And I said, yeah, cheers. And I was going to use it in my front room till I noticed it didn't have a phono input on it. So that put pay to that. Pardon me, but there we go, you see. Still, it was a nice gesture of him coming down, because I didn't want nothing off him. I was helping him out, and he just popped in here, you can have that. Anyway, I put it with a jukebox. I was the first digital jukebox build I did. I sold that to my solicitor. £500 I sold him it for. I was currently fighting custody for my daughter, which I won incidentally. And he couldn't get me in his office, not because of my fat stature, because he was always in court. He was very busy. You always know when you've got a good solicitor, you can't get him because he's busy. Anyway, he rang me up and asked if he could come and see me at my home. So I says, yeah. Well, I just happened to have the jukebox on. I was listening to some music. And he walked straight over to it. He says, I like that. It was a Geordie fella. Looks like Lieutenant Columbo. And I mean, he really does. Looks like Lieutenant Columbo, and he wears a Mac. Anyway, and he walked straight over. He says, I like that. He says, how much would you take for it? So I thought, I'll give him a figure that I know he won't pay. I said, I want £500 for it, Paul. We're going back years now, back to 2008. He says, I'll have that. I thought, shit. So he bought it. He bought it on the spot. He says, I'll come back in a couple of weeks, collect it. So he come back. He give me the cheque. I mean, you can always trust a cheque off a solicitor. He gave me a cheque. A couple of weeks after that, he rang me up. He says, any chance we can move it tomorrow? I says, yeah. He says, can you get somebody to do it? I said, I've got the very man. It was Malcolm up the road, so I got Malcolm. I told him Malcolm's rates. He said, that's fine, we got it shifted to his. We had to carry the bloody thing up 3 flights of stairs. Look at that bloody big house. And he wanted it upstairs. We had to carry the damn thing up. Anyway, we got it up. In between trucking it and lifting it, we got it up. You know, but yeah, if you ever fight in a custody case, you need a really good lawyer. Go to Paul Waters in Stockport, top lawyer. Really good lawyer. He's small but powerful. But, you know, yeah, very good. Ayers Waters they're called. Yeah, there we go, you see. It just shows you never know what's going to fall into your lap. Yeah. I'm not going to get drunk. I don't drink anymore. I used to. I've gone off the fire. I've gone off the idea. It's not. I just don't bother now. I'll bring them back to life. Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, you know, they can't. They couldn't. If you told them to go away now and manufacture one of them hackers, they couldn't. They wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't be able to get it to sound the way it does. And you know, they wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think. Not with the modern components. If they used the components that are exactly in that board, in them boards, they'd probably do it. But even then, they'd probably louse that up. Those dog bone mullard block, lock fit, resist, yeah, are the worst, and every British manufacturer used them. Bloody oh yeah, then dog bone resist. Yeah. I replace them, me. I just take them out. I measure them. If they're all right, I leave them. But if they're even a smidgen out, I change them. You know, I remember not so long ago. Yeah, they always are. All the ones in this fella here have all been changed. There's none of them resistors in it. They're all new resistors that are in there at the tolerance that the manual says that are in there. The other one, the other amplifier will be the same. I'm only talking about the power amp here. The preamp, I weren't changing all that lot because the preamp still sounds good, and I recapped it, but there was no reason to actually change every single resistor. You can allow a little bit here and there, but yeah, they were terrible, them dog bone resistors. Terrible. I mean, what arsehole thought of them? Hang on, there's Christine.
Andy,
What?
I come down turkey crown, I've got a chicken.
Right,
Alright?
right.
Alright, see you in a bit.
See you in a bit. I'm fed up of her whinging about, going on about fucking chickens and turkey crowns, and it's all fucking over after tonight. Crikey. Yeah. I don't feel like roasting a chicken tomorrow. I'll still do it like. They're full of them and all, I know. Yeah, I changed the selenium rectifier for silicon. Yeah, that's a must do as well, isn't it, in most of them? You don't have to do it in all of them. I mean, you don't have to do it in all. I do it in all the valve ones. And if I'm not happy with the HT, if the HT falls below below about 5 volts than what it should, than what the manual says it should be, then I'll change it then. But I don't put resistors out in unless it's stupidly high, like the Bush SRP 31s, the 31C, where when you change the selenium, you have to put, I think it's, if I remember right, they've got some in there, I think it's a 140 ohm resistor with the diode to compensate, so that you get 225 volts HT or thereabouts. You get slightly more, but it doesn't make a difference because I outrate everything else anyway. So it can deal with it. Won't harm it. But you got to put something in there. You got to drop it. Yeah, it's a must on them. They do have to be dropped. The dance sets, I don't put a resistor in. When I change the silicon, when I change the metal from metal to silicon, I don't, because they're usually an EL40, an EL84 or something around that sort of ilk, and they can take 250 volts up that anode and up the screen, I think, and certainly up the anode. And they only make about 125 watts. 125 volts or 130 volts for the HT. So by putting a silicon diode in, you're upping that a bit anyway to about 150, 160. So you're helping it out, and they go a bit louder. That means you can put a medium sensitive cartridge in, and it just goes a bit louder than what it would normally do, because 3 volt cartridges are hard to get. The sound is massively improved when they are hi-fi. Some say they are not, but they are. Yeah, of course they are. They are hi-fi. They've got a magnetic cartridge in them, for fuck's sake. The what do you call it? It's not the hackers, the Dynatrons. They've got a magnetic cartridge. Even these hackers, I class them as hi-fi. I mean, they are hi-fi. They can, they can give you, the mono, their monaural high fidelity. Of course they're hi-fi. Absolutely. I mean, there were days when people considered the Dansette Bermuda to be hi-fi back in the 60s. But they did do a version called that, which was supposed to be hi-fi, and it looked like a Conquest, but it was the same size as a Conquest, but it had a Garrard 86 in it, I believe. But I've never actually had one. I'd love to get one just to have a listen. I don't even know what amplifier was used in it. I'd love to get one just to have a listen and see how good they really are. Yeah, things like hacker record players, they're hi-fi, irrespective of what cartridge. Dynatrons were hi-fi. Yeah, a lot of them weren't. But the more expensive ones, the more you went up the ladder, the more high fidelity you got. The higher the fidelity you got, the higher you went up the ladder. Let's put it that way. Yeah, like I say, I re-resisted the amplifier board in there, the power board, but I didn't re-resistor the the preamp. There's just too many bloody resistors. How many resistors is in the preamp anyway? We can get a look at that because we've still got the manual up on screen. Let's go to the board. It should tell us actually. But these are these are these are definitely hi-fi, these things. I mean, you know, I mean, they can't not be. You know, they sound too good. Here we go. Right, replace. There's the components for the power pack, as they call it. There's the amp 208. Now the tone control. We want to see what resistors is in there. I bet it won't tell us. List of components continued. Oh, it might. Oh no, there's what do you call it? Lid catch. It doesn't tell us what resistors are. Isn't that a bummer? Unless I've looked at that wrong, which I doubt. There's your... Oh, hang on. Unless I looked at it wrong. Yeah, there's your 208, there's your transistors there. They're your transistors that make up your... Yeah, should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 3. It's only showing 6 there. It shows, oh, T6, T6 and T7. Yeah, 7 transistors. There's your tone board. Doesn't show us any resistors. Isn't that a bummer? The bass and treble controls. Shows us those. Shows us the transistors. And the transistors is T1, T2, T101 and T102. There's only 4 transistors, more than 4 fucking transistors in it, surely. And they're all BC109s. So that was, they're all BC109s. So that'd be easy to fix, wouldn't it? You just chuck a shitload of them in it. Yeah, I'd have them. Modifications. I'm trying to get a look at the board. See, that's your... I think that's your power board. Yeah, I think that's your amplifier board. Sorry, but when I said power board, I actually meant amp. And this is your... Yeah, that's all you've got. That's all you've got. Not a lot in it, to be honest. There's not a lot in it. You've only got 4 transistors, according to that. Unless I've missed one. Yeah, 4 transistors. It's not a lot really, you know, considering that this thing knocks out such a good sound. You know, tone control circuit. This will be the one used in the SA45, and that should have a bit less in it. In fact, do you know something? Folks? That doesn't even have. Look at it. That doesn't even have any transistors in that. That's the tone board used in the other half of the record player. That's the board used in the amp, in the separate amplifier, and there's not even. Oh, hang on. There's your balance. There's no transistors there. So let's see if there's a... There's your power board. No, there's no transistors. Tone control type TC106. Yeah. You got your balance level, treble and bass, because your volume's done from the main record player as a double gang control. And that's your wiring for your cabinet. There's your preamp. Yeah, you've got 4 transistors, look, four transistors. The 4 transistors in it, I thought, oh, look at all the resistors you've got. All them resistors, I don't fancy changing all them. There's too many resistors there for me to mess about wanting to change. There's your, there's the one in your preamp. Do you know something? I could make one of them. I could, you know. I could make that T10 or TC106 board. You look at any of us could. Because look what's there. You got one, 2, 3 resistors. You've got 6 capacitors, and you've got 3 potentiometers. Isn't that an easy circuit to make? And you've got your input there, your output there, and just a bit of wiring to power it up and shit like that. Just regular, just your, what do you call it? And it has another amplifier. It has another power amplifier. It has another one of those. Because in that unit, it's not just that. You also have one of those. You also have one of those power amps as well. One of those A208s, is it? Yeah, A208. You have one of them in there as well. There'll be one of them in the separate speaker. So, but yeah, if I got one of those amps, I could actually, if I wanted, just go back down to you lot. If I wanted, and I might even do it, yeah. If I wanted, I could build one of those hacker amps out of that other record player, because I've got all the stuff there needed. I could build another amp up, because all I'd have to do is save the speaker grill, cut the front of the record player off, just cut the front of the record player off, and mount everything in there except for the power supply. I wouldn't need that because it would take its power from this. So I could do that if I wanted. I mean, I'm not going to, but I could. But I'm not going to because I think there's more value in the record player itself as a record player. Oh, I've got the trumps tonight, you know. Yeah, so you know it's been an interesting afternoon, isn't it? We've had a record on. We've had a record on that I'm really hoping they pull me up on so I can tell them to get lost. I don't think they will. But that'll go into my collection, and it'll certainly get played again because it was a lovely record. I enjoyed it immensely. I'm going to be shooting off soon, and let you lot get prepared for your new year. And what am I going to do? I'm not going to do a lot really. I'm just going to sit around here. I might even have, do you know something? I might even have an early night. I might just have an early night, see how I feel in a bit. I might have an early night. Just check all this lot. I'm just checking me Facebook. Yeah. I might send me Happy New Year message out early, and that way if I can't get through to send it tonight, it'll have already been sent, so I might do that even. I like brand of speakers, yeah. I do, I think I like her good speakers. Celestia are as well. Yeah, they are hi-fi, yeah. We've read that bit. Yeah, those selenium rectifiers that have a built-in resistance that goes up, they have a built-in stink and all, which when they burst it releases it. Oh, I don't have smell. I don't know how many of you have ever smelt one. It's like line output. It's like the triplers, the old triplers out the old tellies. They used to stink and all when they went. A bottle of white wine, no worries. No, you go for it, mate. You go for it. Get that top off and have a guzzle. Yeah, get the top off and have a good guzzle. Just put it to your mouth and go guzzle, guzzle, guzzle. Yeah. I find you only have to add in a series resistor with silicon if the HT is above 60 volt. Yeah. Usually it's valve stuff that needs an insert. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was usually the supplied speakers that some of these players down a bit. I didn't see the full stop there. Some sounded too boxy, too muffled. That's correct. Dynatron used Goodmans. They certainly did. Wharfdale and Peerless and Hacker used Goodmans. Correct. Celestian. Yep. There was another earlier brand called A&R of Birmingham. Awful. I've never seen them, you know. And I'll tell you something else as well that you probably didn't know. And this is absolutely true. BSR even made a speaker. Not many. But I actually sold a dance set. And it had an original BSR speaker. And it wasn't just stamped on BSR. It was actually on the plate that was that was bolted to the back of the speaker when the speaker was assembled. It was put there at the point of assembly, and it was a BSR speaker. I've never seen one. But I mean, yeah, I was looking at it, so it was obviously right. You know, a BSR speaker. And I've never seen a BSR speaker. But they must have made them, because they made that one. And that was in a dance set. A dance set 32. G32, C32. The G32 was, it was a G32, it was a Garrard. The C32 was Calaro. I don't think they did a fucking BSR version of it, because I've never seen it listed as a B32. Just a C32 for Calaro, G32 for Garrard. And I bought that from a car boot sale for £5, and I had to replace the output transformer in it and a couple of other bits, and it had a BSR speaker, which I had to replace because I had a bloody big tear in the damn thing, so I had to replace it anyway. And I wasn't going to mess about trying to recone it. I don't bother reconing. I just changed the speaker. I just changed the actual speaker chassis. Put another speaker in there. I just changed the speaker. But yes, it's yeah. I don't blame your psychedelic. Yeah, you get it guzzled, man. Get on there. Get the cork out straight to your lips and give it a good guzzle. Yeah, get a good guzzle on it. Yeah. I've not had a drink for. I think the last time I had a drink was about 3 or 4 years ago. Well, the last time I had a drink, I was invited over to Kelly's over the road. She was having a bit of a soiree. That's a posh word for a party, isn't it? She was having a bit of a party. And she says to me, "You coming over?" The day before she was having it, she says, "Are you coming over to... are you coming over tomorrow?" I said, "I will, yeah." She says, "Oh, good," because we're having a few drinks. She says, "You don't have to buy anything." I said, "No, I'll get a bottle." Anyway, I got something to take over. And we all had a good guzzle and a good laugh. And, you know, that was the last time I had a proper guzzle on anything to do with alcohol. I mean, I can get it any time I want. I mean, I go around, I can walk around this estate I live on. And, you know, pretty much every house I go to, they'll have a beer in the fridge, and I can see, you know, some people even offer, you know, "Do you want a beer or a coffee?" Like my mate Gary round the corner. Every time I go around to his, he always says, "Do you want a beer or a brew?" I said, "I'll have a brew, please." You know, he says, "Do you want anything stronger than a beer?" You know, but no, I never do. I don't. I think to be honest. I think things have changed with me, and I just don't bother. Hello, Harvey again. Just putting new bolts. Just putting new bolts in one of those TK Grunding series, but the motor is struggling to turn. Has not been used. Over 30. Well, what you need to drop a bit of oil in the top and bottom bearings of the motor, Harvey, and that'll soon work. That'll soon liven it up, and jiggle it around a bit will soon liven it up. Just lubricate it, mate. That should sort it out. Hey, so. I think I better make a move soon. And how long have I been on now? Not that it matters. I don't want to keep you lot all night. Yeah, I'll keep you riveted to your chair. Yeah, just let it work in, Harvey. Yeah. He does have a few problems with his shaft. Yeah, it's you're becoming a bit of a nightmare with your shaft, aren't you, Harvey? Yeah. Well, I am. I mean, I'm very careful with what I eat, because obviously I don't want to get it on the fork and it fall off. You know, that defeats the object. But I don't drink because I don't want to drink. I don't drink because I don't drink through the fact that I've got any condition preventing me from drinking. It's purely through choice. I mean, I do that. I mean, I can. When I first moved, I've lived in this flat, and this is no word of a lie. I've lived in this flat. I know every inch of this flat cold. I know the names of all the spiders and everything. Honestly, I've lived there. I know every crack in the walls and everything. I've lived there since 1999. July 1999 I moved in here. It was the 24th of July 1999. I moved into this property, and I've been here ever since. I I think I'm one of the longest people on this road now, on this crescent now. Because most of them down the front there are new ones. Zach's been here, I think Zach's been here longer than me. But Zach was born here, he was only a baby when I moved round here. Because his mum and dad used to hide his Christmas presents in my workshop. They used to say every year, you know, on his birthdays and stuff, you know, can we put them in here? And I said, yeah, no problem. WD-40. Horrid smelly stuff. Once you get used to the stuff. Yeah, I mean the problem with WD-40, you know, a lot of people use it as a lubricant, and it's not. It's a loosener. It's a release agent. It's like plus gas. It's not a lubricant as such. And I've had people where they've brought stuff to me and they've hosed it down with the stuff, even on all the rubber parts, and you have to fuck about cleaning it all off. And you know, it's a pain in the arse really, because you've got more work to do. I mean, you have to charge a bit more. You know, you have to tell them you want more. You have to get more. You know, you have to charge. You have to ask for more, because you have to do that as well. Clean it all off. But yeah, it's. Well, I'm going to shoot off, folks. I am going to shoot off because I don't have to wait for Courtney. She's been. Because I'm going to have an hour. Because I was up early, so I'm going to have an hour. I don't have to wait for Courtney because she's just got back in. She's got a letter. She's got a parcel, so she's okay. She's set. I don't have to wait for that. Wait for her. And yeah, baby starts school in January. Starts nursery in January. Little Tommy. You know, it's surprising, isn't it? You know, she's only a young girl. I mean, I was a bit hard on her in the summer. Probably a bit hard on her, but you know, I mean, that noise was horrendous. I mean, I had to get that tamed down a bit. But you know, you still hear noise, but you can't stop the baby. You can't stop a baby playing. And in all fairness to me, I even said that to the housing woman. When I spoke to the housing lady about it, I said, I'm not telling her. I said, she's arguing with me, telling me that she's not going to stop her baby playing. I said, I've never even said for 1 minute she should stop her baby playing. I said, I would never do that. You know, babies play, they make noise. You know. I said, it's her banging the bed off the floor when she's doing other things with her boyfriend. I said, I don't have to put up with that. I says, and, you know, I said, surely they could do it more quietly, but I don't have to listen. I mean, they wouldn't want to listen to me. I don't do that. I mean, I'm an old man now, but they wouldn't want to listen to me do that. I mean, but these flats, in all fairness, and I even said in all fairness, these flats, the walls and ceilings are like tissue paper. I mean, when she's talking upstairs, I can hear every word she says. And she can hear it. You know, she can hear every word I say. There's nothing we can do about it. You know, but the argument was about me supposedly saying, you know, shut your kid up. And I never once told her to shut her kid up. You know, I was on here one Sunday and I shouted, shut up, you noisy bastards. But it wasn't aimed at her son. It wasn't aimed at the baby, it was aimed at her. You know, and whoever else was up there with her. But, you know, I would never tell anybody to tell the baby to shut up. Because babies make noise. I mean, like I said to her at the door a minute ago, you know, she says, I says, I don't like doing things at night where he'll wake up, and I don't want to be responsible for waking her baby up. Because it's not fair. Babies growing their sleep need all the sleep they can get. And, you know, so that's why when some people say you're a bit quiet at night, that's why. Because I have got a high pitched voice. It is loud. I can be loud, but I try and moderate it because I don't want to wake little Tommy up because it's not fair. I don't have the TV loud. I don't have any music on past 9. Well, past 10 o'clock at night. I won't put any record players on, and if I do, I'll put them on low, because I know he goes to bed between 7 and 6, 6 and 7 even. Maybe half 6, maybe half 6, half 7 even. But I know at 8 o'clock he's in bed snoring. So, that is a given. So I don't, but she said he's pretty hard to wake up. I says, I know, but even so, I says, I hear him every now and again. He'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I'll hear him, and I'll hear his little feet tap her across the floor. He goes straight into, you hear him like, going across the floor into his mum's bedroom. But, I said to her, I said to her before at the door, I hear him sometimes, tiptoeing across and trotting across the floor into your bedroom. Yeah, she says he does. Says, yeah, I've heard him a couple of times. Bless him, but at the end of the day, kids do that. Kids do that. And, yeah, it's never been an issue. Just the rest of the noise. Oh, I need my glasses. I'm going to go in a minute, folks, because I'm probably boring you all shitless at this point. We're down to 9 people. Yeah, it ruins the... I hate it when I receive a BSR turntable and someone has tried to unseize the platter with WS. A heat gun. And if it's a metal platter, use a heat gun on the top. If it's a plastic platter, do it underneath. Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? Yeah, those flats, you can hear each other on the toilet. Oh, it was a laugh one night. The old lady that used to live upstairs, she must have been on the shitter at the same time as me. And as we got off the shitter, we both pulled our chains together, because she said to me the next morning, she said, did you go to the lavatory last night? I said, Francis, I said, is that really the kind of question for a woman of your elderly disposition to be asking a young man? She just laughed her head off. She said, well, did you? I said, I did. She says, I thought I heard your chain go at the same time as mine. Yeah. But yeah, because obviously, because the flats are the same design, the bathrooms are right above each other and the toilet is in the bathroom. So, unfortunately, you do know when your neighbour is on the throne. You know when your neighbour's on the throne. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't say to her, listen, I'm going to the bog in 5 minutes, I don't want to hear you. As long as when she farts, it doesn't come down and come into my bathroom, I'm not bothered. The same as she's probably not bothered when I have a shit and she doesn't smell it. As long as she doesn't smell it. The motor is spinning really well now, and the WD-40 did the trick. Well, all you need to do now is clean off all the WD-40 and put some proper oil in there. Just 3-in-1 with light machine oil. Yeah, well done on that one, Harvey. Sorted. It ruins the internal inner bushing and causing it to bind. It does, yes. It fucks them up, because them bushings are usually made out of brass. In the decent stuff, they were made out of brass. Them inner bushings. In the not so decent stuff, there's whatever they could find to work equally as good as an inner bushing. Yeah, clock oil. Yeah, a bit of clock oil will do it. Yeah. Yeah, that won't do it any harm. Yeah, it should be alright. What else have we got? Yeah, I know it is. That's why I said like machine oil, because 3-in-1's a bit thicker. I know clock oil's very thin. It's like gun oil. Clock oil and gun oil are probably about, I think they're the same thing, aren't they? Very similar. I think gun oil's got graphite in it, hasn't it? Somebody correct me on that one. I'm sure they put graphite powder in gun oil, because a gun has to work really smooth, doesn't it? I mean, you didn't want to be in the Old West, did you? You know, pull out your peacemaker and go to pull the trigger and found out that it wouldn't go, and you're, and the guy you were going up against shot you. I think they had graphite. Yeah. Pardon me. I'm just trying to get closer to the screen so I don't have to keep sticking my glasses on. No, they're not brass in the plastic turntables, no. They're crap. But anything, what I was talking about, anything decent, any decent turntables and motors and stuff, they did put brass ones in. Yeah, but like I say though, moving on a bit, it's been an interesting one, hasn't it? I mean, we've had that record and we've had a good chat. Hey, what's his name's not been in, has he? I don't think. Has anybody seen anything of Simon Wiggle? He's not been in, has he? I've not seen Simon pop in. I'm just going back down the chat now in case he was here earlier. No, he's not been in today, has he? Yeah. I'm really, Hey, up here's Christine. I'm going to get a cup of coffee. Christine! What have you got in the bag?
Where are you, Andy?
Where am I?
In bed?
No, I'm not in bloody bed. I'm in the workshop and sat in my underpants.
Oh, right.
With my dressing gown
What
on.
that?
You didn't get me that, you got that for us.
Yeah.
Didn't get it for me.
Laura.
Didn't get it for me.
Have you seen it? It's got something on the top.
Yes, I know. It's called seasoning,
I
Christine.
didn't know what that was.
Yes, don't worry. It's called. Oh yeah.
I was gonna get
Hey! I got you a present.
What, a cup of tea?
I got you a present. Yeah.
Making a fucking coffee.
There's your present. You can use that. You can use that to put a cup of coffee in for me. Yeah. Put that
Eric's
chicken.
passed away.
Who?
You know Bob and Eric? Eric had an heart attack and passed away today.
Oh, you mean the two? You mean the two gay gentlemen next door to you?
Yeah, there's only one now.
Right. Well, they've been there years, haven't you now?
Yeah,
They've been there longer than me.
he passed away.
Oh, that's a shame. I never spoke to them. Do you know something? I never spoke to them all the years that we're here. All the years I've lived here. Not because of their sexual preference. I just never bumped into them. Oh, I think I nodded to one of them once because one of them nodded to me as I was going past with scraps, and I nodded back and sort of like hello, But yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame that really. And yeah.
Jumbo, Andy.
Hey?
Have you had a jumbo?
Yeah.
I couldn't get any of
Oh, here he is. He's here. Where have you been hiding, Simon? You little devil. Where have you been hiding? Yeah, he's speaking the devil. He's sure to appear in here. Yeah. Good to see you on, Simon. yeah, so what else? What else is there? There's not really much left to cover now, is there? Apart from to, wish you all a very happy and prosperous and a stay safe New Year. Everybody stay safe because everybody stay safe. Oh, you've had visitors. Right, oh, that's why. Oh, never mind, yeah. Yeah. Never mind, well, that's allowed. That's allowed, you're allowed to have visitors. Absolutely. I don't know whether you got listening to the record while I was playing it, Simon. If you didn't, it's definitely worth a listen to. That's the one that's currently sat on top of the hacker. We had both sides of that uninterrupted, apart from the odd sniffle and the odd cough from me now and again. I just hope it didn't interrupt. I just hope it doesn't just hope it doesn't spoil your listening pleasure too much. But yeah, a really nice, enjoyable album. And I'm gonna leave it there now, and I will catch you all one day next week. Hey, I suppose this is a perfect opportunity for me to say it. I'll see you all next year. Anyway, listen, you lot. Yeah, you'll enjoy it, Simon. I'm sure you will. Anyway, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I hope you do. Anyway, I will leave a link. I will go on to Mark's website, Mark's YouTube. I'll leave a link, and I'll link it to here so that you can get to it easier, and you can have a listen to maybe some other stuff that Mark and his band has done, the Ladykillers have done. But let's hope to get something out of it, because it deserves something, an album of that calibre. It's a really nice record. Anyway, listen, you all take it easy and have a nice New Year. And please, if you're going out and you're driving, please make sure it's your own bloody car. You all take it easy, and I will see you all one day next week in the new year, and we'll outline a few other projects that we've got on the go, or maybe on the go. And I shall see you all then. Now left to say now, I think I've covered everything, haven't I? Yeah, I might have my brew and have an early night, I think. Not too early, but well, I'll probably get up again about 10 or 11. But I'm going to shoot off, and stay safe. And remember, YouTube is nothing without the people who support it. And thank you very much. Bye for now, folks.